Good morning, and well, actually, I just realized, I've got everything in the wrong place. Here we go. How about that? Is that better? Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Miniature Monday here on Gaming with ADHD, where I am playing with all of the settings and all of the positions of cameras and microphones, and I'm just making everything awkward at this point. And what am I doing? Anyhow, so here we are. All right. Yeah, it's been a week. I was hoping I would get to a paint stream on Friday, but I did not. And I don't know. I'm here and I'm awake, I think. So we're just gonna leave it at that. Let's see. All right, I literally have accomplished nothing in the world of gaming. I did get some more updates to the desk, which I'm actually super excited about. I have a new little monitor over here on my side, so that hopefully I can, keep up with and follow chat a little bit better. Got new microphone arms so that instead of being the microphone 4 feet away from me, I can have it a little bit closer and up front. So anyways, so essentially today's kind of a test stream, although we're gonna paint and hopefully finish off the Clan Wolf. Well, actually, I don't think I'll finish it off, but we're gonna get a lot closer on this Clan Wolf Beta Galaxy. And I did set a super chat goal on the stream. Obviously, you are not required to nor expected to contribute super chats, although they are always appreciated. But if we get 5 super chats of literally any amount, I will let the community pick a Battletech figure that I will paint, and the community can also pick the paint scheme. So if you want to see that happen and maybe push my skills a little bit, feel free to do that. So let's see. Coming up, just because I do want to announce it, we should be having our live stream on Wednesday night doing a one-shot for D&D. Ethan, are you playing in that? You playing in the game on Wednesday? The D&D game. I hate my children. I'm gonna assume. I'm gonna tell him yes, he's playing. So, as long as Seraphis isn't dead, I guess we'll do that.
What?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna end everyone. Anyhow, so that should be coming up on Wednesday. Hopefully I can figure something out and get going on Topics and Tangents on Thursdays. Things just keep coming up and distracting me. So that's straight up my fault. So anyways, you all probably do not give a crap about the randomness that I'm spouting off. So let's go ahead and flip over and get some paint going. All right. So there we go. Or there. So yeah, how was everyone else's weekend? Magic 8 Ball. All signs point to dead. True story. All right, so basically I'm still going through and doing the little... Oh, wrong way for focus. Red trim on the mechs just to break it up a little bit, make the brown a little less bland. It's actually kind of interesting. So like the very first Clan Wolf Beta Galaxy figure that I did was just one of my own. It was an Executioner. I want to say it was Garth Raddick. Don't quote me on that. What's up, Silent Mouse? How you doing, buddy? And get these out of the way. Is this as zoomed in as it's gonna get? I think my next upgrade is probably a different lens for my DSLR. Like the problem is like I need to zoom out like this, and yes, you can see all of my little painting tray. It's a big mess. And switching to a new lens, I'd actually lose some of that. But I feel like I need to zoom in a little bit more. Or is that big enough? Does that actually come through clear enough for you folks? Anyhow, the Executioner, I did it, but I just did the tan and gray, and it actually looks a little bland. So it's not a lot, but just doing this red striping breaks it up, adds a little bit of color to the figure, and actually really helps. So yeah, and thanks. Yes, it was Garth Raddick. And yeah, you did hear Dishes Malachi, but that was the boy. He's, you know, I don't care if he's in danger. In fact, I'm willing to put him there. Hey. Hey, Malwinius. I will admit, I'm actually kind of surprised that European fulfillment hasn't been going on already. Because I know the UK got theirs at least a couple of months ago. And yes, I realize Brexit, UK, blah, 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 but still. And Malwinius, you're not the only person that I've heard say that. And like even in my case, like that's the other thing. Like even for me, yeah, I've got the channel and I make content, do all that kind of stuff, but I didn't go nuts. I think I did company level. I forget. But it was not an extensive pledge. At least like half of the review sets. Actually, no. Like literally like 3/4 of the review sets have all come from friends. Who let me borrow their stuff. And then do my reviews. I've still got a few that I need to do. But I'm also not a completion. Well, I normally am, but in this case, I'm not a completionist needing to own every single mech or every single official product. um. Well, and Silent Mouse, like there's a difference. I mean, you're in Australia, you know. Stocking, I know, like stocking the product can be an issue. So, in your particular case, sometimes it's better to go whole hog and make sure you can get it. Like, you know, shipping you one miniature was, you know, $20. I've got stuff that I'm trying to send to Seraphis, and holy crap, is it expensive to send to Australia. Hey, Glenn, what's up, buddy? I know you've been busy, but it's good to see you, sir. It really is. And Malachi, I am not touching the BattleTech romance novel with a 10-foot pole. I really, really want to see the sales numbers on that. Because, I mean, let's assume that the author got paid $5,000 to write the novel. You know, and you know, the total cost to produce it was, you know, another $5,000 for editing and layout and commissioning the art, paying the license fee, blah 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 blah. Are there 1,000 people willing to buy the BattleTech romance novel? I am legitimately curious. I'm not curious enough to actually read it, but are you serious, Silent Mouse? I mean, I haven't bought any Catalyst fiction since the whole Blaine Pardo nonsense. Glenn, you're fired. You're fired. Just straight up, you're fired. Just fired. How dare you? This is the audience I've cultivated, folks. But seriously, I am curious if there is enough demand to break even on the novel. And heck, they could have even done a different contract. Maybe it's one where it's like, hey, we don't know what this is going to do, so we're going to buy it on spec. You get a higher percentage, so if it's a runaway hit, then, you know, the author can make a lot more. I highly doubt they would do it like that. But I could also see it, so. Yeah, I think we talked about that. I think we talked about the romance novel last week. I just don't see it as being the right thing for BattleTech. Like, and I don't think I made the point last week, but I think I was thinking about it afterwards, where, like, a lot of the D&D stuff that is quote unquote off-brand, you know, plushies, romance novels, you know, I think a lot of those start as fan projects. You know, sometimes stay as fan projects. So this, Glenn, a good friend of mine likes to play, hates to paint. And so for Clan Invasion, I painted his stuff for cash. This time, because there was a lot less clan stuff, he ended up ordering Inner Sphere stuff, and we ended up doing a trade. There were some other extenuating circumstances, though, as well. Anyway, so all of his stuff that I did last time is Clan Wolf Beta Galaxy. And so basically it's new mechs, and so I'm just adding to his pile of Clan Wolf Beta Galaxy. I do not like that at all. So it's very boring and not how I typically like to paint. But it added to my collection. It it let my friend add to his collection. He's going to join me next month to do the to start a BattleTech deep dive like we've been doing for the Eberron campaign setting. So, anyways, it's it's been a good trade. Also, I don't usually do unit painting. So it helps me kind of stretch a little bit. I don't know if I necessarily like this, but I wanted to do something a little different, so I took that red just kind of along that chest line. Just trying to do some things to kind of break it up a little bit, do some different stuff. I don't know. I think it works. Exactly, Glenn. It is not my, well, no, hey. First off, I have never painted something based on, something I saw in my living room. Because let's be honest, it would be tan or black or whatever. It would be very boring. The cast of Real Housewives, that's definitely a possibility, though. Okay, maybe not that one, but I get what you're going with. And technically, the theme was always just named pilots. Which was fun because it gave me a lot of variety. Yes, Malvinius, this is the blood ass. My friend got 2 of them. So essentially they're gonna... I just realized I'm making them identical. I'll change up the red line a little bit. But since there are more people here, I am going to point it out. Again, no obligations. I'm not begging. I'm just pointing it out. There is the super chat goal if you guys want to kind of force me to do something. That is an option. All right, so on the previous Blood Asp, I just did some straight line with the red there. So to mix it up so that way you can kind of tell the difference between the two. We're going to copy the panel outline. I do love the fact that I have a whole crew of Aussies here arguing about Battletech shipping. Ugh. What the heck did I do there? It seems like you, Seraphis, and at least Malwinius are like all arguing the Battletech shipping. Actually, I guess Malwinius is in Europe. Okay, regardless, like, chat's going nuts, which I'm totally okay with. That, like, absolutely helps. the YouTube algorithm. German. I need to practice my German. I've been massively slacking on that. Instead, I've been focusing on my Portuguese. But I do have a goal to read the Book of Mormon in German this year. Currently reading it in English. After I finish it in English, I'm going to read it in Portuguese, which I have not done in like 27 years. And then I'm going to try and read it in German. Outslander? I think you mean Auslander. Let me see. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Oh, see, that's the problem. So, I took 4 years of German in high school, and then when I went on my mission, and I'm in Provo learning Portuguese. I like early on, my brain would just flip into German instead of the Portuguese that I was supposed to be practicing. And I've been practicing so much Portuguese lately that I just tried to speak German, and I'm trying to mix in a bit of Portuguese. Anyhow. I mean, Germany's still on my bucket list of places to visit. So, Very Silent Mouse, I absolutely understand. Glenn, I'll answer your question in just a second. But basically, my friend only has clan mechs and just wants everything in Beta Galaxy. So I realize it's a little bit anachronistic, but I mean, let's be honest. I've got a Devastator as well, which is an Inner Sphere mech. So, meh. Basically, it's a story doesn't matter, you know, quote unquote, this is what the client wants. So that's why I'm doing it. So Glenn, as far as super chats, I will. Okay, as long as they are, you know, relatively family friendly. You guys know I don't really censor anything, but I ask you keep it family friendly here. I know Seraphis and Grim, when they listen, they've got a 4 and a 5-year-old running around, so. You know, I'm not gonna do stuff to upset the kids. That, and I've met the kids. I mean, through the screen, but I've met the kids. I like the kids. I don't need to be that weird grown up around them. So anyway, so I'll answer that. But as far as the super chat goal, if I get any 5 super chats, whether it's $2 or $10, whatever, I don't care. I have a few BattleTech figures primed, so you guys will have to pick from one of those. But we'll pull out the figures. I'll let you guys pick which one I paint, and then I'll let you guys pick what paint scheme it has that I'm gonna paint it in. And in this case, I will say it has to be a paint scheme that we can find on camo specs. Unless somebody makes a really good suggestion of something else. You know, because I mean I've done some non-standard stuff before as well. Anyways, so that's how we'll play that one. Like, I'm trying to not put a ton of restrictions on it. Like, leave it open so people are like, oh, that would be kind of fun to see. But we're not going to go nuts either. And let's be honest, it's going to be a cowboy curtain. I'm not sure what a cowboy curtain. Okay, we're gonna. Let's see here. Cowboy Curtis. I have no idea what you're talking about. Let's share the screen. Let's see what everybody thinks. I mean, I'm not quite sure what would be an appropriate mech for Cowboy Curtis. That is a lot of pink and purple going on. That is a lot of pink and purple. That and the fact that that's Lawrence Fishburne. That's hilarious. All right, so Glenn's thrown in his vote, folks. Is anyone else going to counteract that? I mean, if we get 4 more super chats. Give me a second, Silent Mouse, and I'll pull out the mechs that I have available for this disaster. Actually, this could actually be a lot of fun. Give me just a second. Let me get the. Let me get the red stripe. I'm gonna have to do some cleanup on that. I'm gonna have to do cleanup on a lot of these. All right, I have in my current box of mess. know I already like pre-blocked out. All right. Good night, Malwinius. All right. So we got a quick draw. This guy. I know Silent Mouse will tell me what that is. Got an Oscout. Silent Mouse is on board to doing a Lawrence Fishburne Lance. Well, this is only good for this is only good for one mech. Got we got a couple Fireflies. Oh, I already started working on this guy, so we're gonna put him to the side. He doesn't count. Got another one of these. Got another Oscar. Oh, that's right, because I've got all the Inner Sphere stuff from my buddy's Chameleon. All right. We got this guy that looks kind of like a Hollander, but is not a Hollander. I got all of his got a Caesar. Got another one of this guy, and we got a Flea. So one of these we'll do as a Cowboy Curtis mech. I'm assuming this is the Star. Yeah, I think this. Yeah, this is the Star Slayer. So one of those could be your next Cowboy Curtis if we get 3 more super chats. We're not doing a Lance. Everybody asking for a Lance. I'm not doing a Lance. You get one mech. But we'll take need to find a mini cowboy hat. What's up, Coco? But we will. I mean, I have a feeling that Cowboy Curtis is gonna. I mean, technically, it's up to the community to decide, but I have a feeling that everybody's gonna get behind Cowboy Curtis here. But I will let everyone vote once we get to the super chat goal. Because I do need to at least highlight these. Whoa, that is not. Silent Mouse wanting a whole Lawrence Fishburne Lance. Seraphis wanting a Ziggy Stardust Lance. Glenn probably going to make it happen on his own. Now we have a vote for Chameleon for Ziggy Stardust. Look, that could be the next live stream. Like, if you all want to keep doing this, I'll keep putting up super chat goals. But just in the interest of time, we're just going to do one. So like next week, we would do another one. Who else would be in a Lawrence Fishburne Lands? I'm actually kind of surprised you guys are going with a Lawrence Fishburne Lance as opposed to just a Pee-wee's Playhouse Lance. Cowboy Curtis Warforged. See, the catch is finding them, like finding a miniature. Is there a Warforged miniature with a cowboy hat? You know? Oh, and also Silent Mouse. Just to annoy your canonicity argument about second line mechs being in Beta Galaxy. I've got 4 vehicles too. And yeah, they're all getting painted in Beta Galaxy. So let your brain stew on that a little bit, sir. Actually, I was trying to think of, like, so y'all going on about Lawrence Fishburne. I'm like, how would I do a Morpheus mech? And then I realized, so first off, it would be quote unquote all black. Like, that's the main color you're gonna see. Obviously, little, like I always do, metallic on joints, stuff like that. But then what I would probably do, actually probably before I did the metallics, take some of the some black green, basically Dark Angel green, and just do a semi heavy dry brush, enough so that it picks it up. Probably go in and do another lighter green afterwards, but essentially get the edges so that they have kind of a green look to them. And then the cockpit would be black glass as well. But that would be how I would do a Morpheus mech. I would do black with like so make it look like a really, really dark emerald. Because it's mostly black, but I'd want the green coming up. What's up, Nerds Nerd? Been a while. Good to see you. For the record, there is a super Nerds Nerd, since you just joined us. There is a super chat goal. Again, no requirement to participate. But if we get one more super chat, apparently I am painting a quick draw like Cowboy Curtis. Which I believe is what the chat has settled on. We did have a request for Ziggy Stardust, but Seraphis was the really only Seraphis was really the only one who was pushing for that. And Nerds Nerd, I don't think you'll be disappointed. Look, Silent Mouse, you can push for Ziggy Stardust Chameleon next week. But I don't have enough time to do both of them today. We're already in an hour. Oh, and I'm going to go on record and just say I like the design of the Jenner 2C. I really do. I think it's a nice twist on the original design, gives it a kind of an anime feel without, quote unquote, insulting its predecessor. So Quick Draw McGraw. I mean, that could always be week 3, Nerds Nerd. I mean, I have done a whole series, like, I have done a whole bunch of cartoon-based, paint jobs. So Quick Draw McGraw, like, is absolutely a possibility. Hey, Grumpy. What's up, bud? Yeah, so what I ended up doing the last time for my friend was because he'd ended up with some inner sphere mechs. And so I did a company of Wolf Dragoons as well. So okay, Coco, you're welcome. You're welcome to suggest it, but you know, you got to get the chat on board. And while there have been some alternate suggestions, I have a feeling that Cowboy Curtis is going to win out. But we still need one more super chatter anyways. And I need to finish redlining these units. Actually, I'm gonna ask for a little bit of feedback, folks. Visually, how is the setup? I know I complained about like the focal length on the camera a little bit, so I'm not as worried about that. But currently, I've got a light here, one here. I don't know if you can see it. So there's two lights here coming in. I've got a ring light around the camera pointing down. And so I'm hoping it's actually like helping, and I'm not overlighting the camera or overlighting the piece. All right, cool. And then what about audio? Because like literally my microphone is like 6 inches away from my mouth now. And this is my First time using my setup after getting all the parts this weekend. All right. Yeah, usually everyone does hear me fine, so I know I kind of freak out about it, but that's kind of like the big deal on YouTube is the audio. And if your audio's fine, then people usually will forgive a lot. So I'm just trying to make sure. All right, folks, come on. One more for Cowboy Curtis. I just don't want to disappoint everyone. All right. Well, good night, Silent Mouse. And if we get to Cowboy Curtis, it'll be here on the replay for you. All right, there we go. That I can do. I'm going to go with a mirror look on these. Actually, I have to admit, that is one thing that I have appreciated about the Beta Galaxy project is like outside of just being told Clan Wolf Beta Galaxy, my friend hasn't really made a lot of demands or complaints, and I can kind of just do what I want with them. And he's been pretty happy with it. I mean, I realize I'm not. See? Mirrored. Sort of mirrored. I like it. All right. There we go. Got everything redlined. Actually, I need a fix. I don't like that. All right. Quick Draw and Star Slayer. What do you think, folks? Do we want to do this? I mean, I'm game if you're game. But that's up to you folks. Now that all of chat is disappearing. All right, I'm going to mark this. Siggy. Cowboy Curtis. Right, but we need one super chat. $2. $2, and I will let you all control what I paint. Come on, folks. Glenn already did 2 of them. He's done his part. And we had Seraphis. I think it was Silent Mouse was the other one. Yeah, Silent Mouse. So, I mean, it's imaginary Australian dollars, but we're going to count it. So, let's see. We're gonna need some magenta, obviously. Faded plum is a highlight. Regular purple is a base color. We definitely need some. Ooh, I'm actually going to go with ivory. Some bright ivory, almost white. Oh, you know what? Some dark purple. Because I'm not going to do black and white on the chaps. I think that dark purple and ivory could be good. Let's see. Cowboy Curtis. We're definitely going to need some tan. Yeah, I'm going to go with that stone gray. Yeah, exactly. It's more purple and white. So, but I think the ivory and dark purple will actually look really good. And then where's that black gray?
What? Did you just kick a bird?
No.
Black gray.
Caramel.
Come on, folks. Just one. We're already excited for this. I'm mixing paint as we speak. Did everybody? Am I even live still? Oh, but YouTube Studio is saying that, like, nobody's here, Seraphis. I'm just wondering, like, did everybody... Did everybody go away? I'm live, I just suck. I mean, that's a completely fair argument. I'm not gonna lie. Yo. Not gonna lie at all. Okay. Yeah, that's the way. Yeah, it says 5 viewers, but then also says 0. It's weird. Anyhow. Yeah, I think this is going to be the goofiest paint job I have ever seen. And I'm totally putting it up on the miniature showcase. I will absolutely show this off. All right, but before we do, I have a bunch of red paint water. I will be right back, folks. All right. No one wants to help us meet the goal. Come on, Cowboy Curtis is waiting. All right, so we got our quick draw. Hey, Captain Mundo. I know everyone else is kind of getting annoyed, Mundo, but since you just showed up, there's a super chat goal that if we get 5 super chats and we're 4 in, so we just need 1 more, and I will paint this quick draw to look like Cowboy Curtis from Pee-wee's Playhouse. So if you want to make that happen, you know, we can go for it. All right, you know what? In the meantime, I can keep working on Beta Galaxy. I just realized what I can do. All right, we're gonna get a little bit of yellow. I was kind of bad about doing this on the last batch, so I want to make sure that I do it. Just a little bit of hazard striping around the ankles. And Mundo comes in a clutch. All right, folks, we have met the goal. Let me use up some of this yellow paint. And we'll get on to Cowboy Curtis. Anyhow, so what else should we talk about? Actually, speaking of Cowboy Curtis, that's actually kind of interesting. Like when you think about celebrities that you know from like just massive projects, big things, and then you go back and realize, whoa, Lawrence Fishburne did Pee-wee's Playhouse. As I'm just going to say a very non-stereotypical cowboy. Ugh, I do not like this. Bryan Cranston did Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? What was he in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Yeah, he was the drug dealer that got all the Rangers high. That's why, the show was as weird as it was. Actually, since he did Macross, I was gonna say, since he did Macross Plus, I was actually gonna guess that he did voice acting. That actually makes a lot of sense. And Old Billy. I don't know who Old Billy is. I mean, I'm assuming that's a Power Ranger character. Ah. Future version of current character. Yeah, I haven't. Sorry for forgetting to respond, Mundo. I have not heard much about the Emperor's Children outside of the announcement. I am curious though. I think the new Fulgrim Demon Prince is amazing. That is gonna be nuts. All right. Oh my gosh, all of the noises. All right, so we got 5 super chats. So let's Cowboy Curtis it up. Hey Nathan, this is actually not Tau. This is BattleTech, and because of community demand. All right, actually, I should put this to a vote. Let's see. All right. What should I paint? Cowboy Curtis Quick Draw, Ziggy Stardust Chameleon. Those were our 2 choices, right? Now I'm feeling dumb. Or was it the Ziggy Stardust Star Slayer? No, I think the Ziggy Stardust is supposed to be a chameleon. Put it in chat. Remind me. Dang it. Sorry, folks. I'm feeling dumb. Got it. So I'm okay. So clearly you're relatively new here. I'm kind of all over the place in my gaming. Lately I've done Ziggy Star Slayer. Okay, got it. All right, we're fine there. All right, Ziggy Stardust Star Slayer. Paint my goblin ass. All right, so one of these 2, Ziggy Stardust for this guy, or Cowboy Curtis for this guy. I've already got the paint for Ziggy Stardust. I just forget what we were supposed to be. Anyways, I told the community I'd let them vote. So we have 2 votes for the Star Slayer. Ooh. We might not be doing Cowboy Curtis. Yeah, this is gonna be okay, apparently everyone is now going for Ziggy Stardust. This is gonna be interesting. Come on, there's like 10 people in chat. We need more than 3 votes, folks. I mean, I have a feeling I am in for a change of plans, because I was fully planning on Cowboy Curtis. All right, so my. All right, here. Let me share the screen. So now the question is, like, I kind of like this idea, and doing. And doing this for the paint job. I think that could be nuts. Or do I need to do this one? This is going to be a lot harder. Straight up. Okay, Seraphis, I need more than a yes. I need you to at least say, you know, like stripes or lightning bolt. It looks like the same color as McDonald's used in the 1970s and 80s. Maybe even a little into the 90s. All right, so so Seraphis, you're voting this, and he might have been. You're wrong. You're voting this with a lightning bolt across the cockpit. So, Six World, you joined us late, but there was a super chat goal that if I got 5 super chats, I'd let the community pick a mech. Oh, hey, check it out, folks. Here's my stats. I'd let the community pick. I would paint a battle mech. The lightning bolt costume of it. Okay. I think the costume I think the costume will actually be a lot easier. Anyways, I would let the community pick what mech I painted and how I painted it. And so I got 5 super chats, and so this is where we're at. And I'm actually thinking, no, that's just wash. Why are we singing? Because I'm bad at this. That's why. Okay. So, all right, we're gonna need our red again. And I've got, you know, we're gonna stretch some painting here. We're gonna stretch some painting. So we got like, basically it's a red gold split by a lightning bolt. The costume is all metallic. So that's what we're gonna do. I've got some metallic medium, which I really don't have a whole lot of experience using. So we got red, blue, and what the? Oh, that was in my paint rack. All right. That's actually like bronze. We've got rich gold, bright. We'll go with bright gold. Okay. Man. Here I was all planned up for Cowboy Curtis and Ziggy Stardust coming in from behind. Double entendre. Anyhow, all right, this is gonna be a hot mess. I have no idea how well this is gonna work, but I think that's actually what makes this fun. This is gonna help me. This is gonna help me stretch a little bit. All right, so. I don't really know the proper ratio of paint to medium, and I think I just put out way too much paint. I know! I got metallic medium! That's how we're... Oh! We're gonna get there. This is gonna take some steps. Give me a little bit of time. Let's see. All right. We got there's some red paint and some metallic medium. I have no idea about proper ratios on this. This is not metallic-y enough for me. I've tried using metallic medium in the past, and my main problem is it always lightens up the color. I think this is actually coming out okay. Is there a way I can put my mech's feet on platforms? I don't think so, Glenn. All right, so... All right, this is definitely going to take some layers. But it has definitely a much more candy apple look to it. Suppose I should refocus the camera. I just realized that Seraphis' comment about the Star Slayer being a funnier mech, it's because it's Ziggy Star Slayer, not Ziggy Stardust. I literally just put that together. I never claimed to be the quickest kid on the block. Yeah, you know what? Thanks, Mundo. That I was actually debating that because, like, I'm afraid of doing my normal wash and having it mute some of the metallic look here. But I think using some purple wash would actually be a good call. I'm gonna have to be like kind of careful because we're gonna be doing the split gold and red and blue, but I think I can. The visualization is coming together. I know I'm not like. I'm gonna put the lightning bolt down the leg. Now I've got two competing artists telling me what to do. And I trust both of their suggestions. I mean, it won't be hard because I've got both colors. I'm just not sure which one would look best. And I've kind of only got one shot at this. Actually, if this works, this could be cool enough to do like a whole lance of Stardust. Not gonna lie. Just because of how I'm seeing it in my head, and it would still fit for Battletech. Oh, hey, Six World. And maybe Glenn. Actually, Glenn, aren't you in Florida too? How long is the drive from Miami to Orlando? Is that just like a 2-hour drive? Oh, it's like 3.5. Okay. Down the street from Six World and you don't even talk to each other. Very disappointing. I bring these people together and they don't even take advantage of it. Because Peanut Gallery and I are doing a Disney cruise out of Fort Lauderdale in May. But the cruise gets back on Friday, and the current plan is to not fly out until Sunday. You can do it in 3 if you drive like the speed limit is just a suggestion. I will neither confirm nor deny my driving habits. I did get from Vegas to Sacramento an hour before the GPS said I would, though. And Glenn, I don't believe that's true, because I kind of like Shadowrun Six World, and Six World talks to me. What did you do, Glenn? I know. No, I didn't realize you guys were quote unquote down the street from each other. Relatively speaking. How much is the train from Miami to Orlando? Actually, I don't know why I'm trying to be so gentle on the line, because I'm just going to paint this here, and then I'm going to paint over it with blue to make that lightning bolt. Actually, that's the biggest complaint I get on my miniature showcase videos, is that I need to thin my paints. Between 30 and 99, I mean, it's not horrible. And I guess I could look at flights to Miami. And then if we wanted to go up to Orlando, we could get a flight home from there. But I've never been to Miami. So Mundo, I'm gonna like the seam between the red and the gold is gonna get a blue lightning bolt over it. Look, I think I've only watched one Duncan Rhodes video. I'm not afraid of him. All right, Seraphis, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that I kind of hate you for this. Because this is actually a semi-decent paint job. Or like, let me rephrase that. It's a decent color scheme. It is actually, like, I'm actually excited to see this done. And I think it's, like, totally appropriate for Battletech. Holy ridiculous, Batman. This is... This is both dumb and awesome at the same time. And I love it. Yeah, I struggle with thin paints because like I put it on and then it's like, why do I still see my primer under there? I shouldn't see my primer. I should see the color that I put down. Everyone's just like, just do more layers, and it's like, then I'm layering up a crap ton of paint. Okay, right there. This is why I know it's already going to be a good paint job or a good paint scheme. I like this cross tone. Especially since it's not just like a regular like bisect or something. Oh no. All right. Clearly, I need to figure out my window situation. Studio just crashed. You're out of memory. It's like, dang it. Yeah, it is gonna look nice, and I don't think and the lightning bolt's only gonna help. Like that's the weird thing. Oh my gosh, this like my brain is like literally like, this is dumb. This isn't gonna work. And then I start doing it and it's like, oh my gosh, this is actually gonna Clearly we have summoned the ghost of David Bowie and he approves. Probably Mundo. Now that you mentioned it, it's like, you know what? That's not a bad idea, and it'll help me kind of like clean up the line on it anyways. Look, we'll see what the community votes on. I also am not that confident in my paint abilities. And come on, I still want to do quote-unquote normal stuff. Actually, starting, I think, next week, the Warhammer Combat Patrol magazine starts. I think it starts shipping next week. Ah! And so I'll definitely be doing some of that. Wow, that almost went horribly sideways. That actually went a little bit sideways. I am a mess today. And that's very true, Six World. But but let's be honest. The Domino's Mercenary Command is not a unit to be trifled with. That's fair, Glenn. It's not my fault that the figure rolled off camera, though. I can't quite plan for disaster. No. All right. So, back to Florida. Having never been to Miami, and really only having, say, 48 hours. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is going to be great. Even though you may avoid Miami like the plague, would you recommend we stay and see Miami? Actually, that reminds me. Actually, I guess that's a question. How early is the earliest Bright Line train? So we could spend an afternoon, evening in Miami. And then the next day, just get up early and go to Orlando. And that's the problem, is now I have, like, people that I know. So it's like, it's not like I just know one person. I'm like, oh, I'm going to go see this one person. Now I got at least 3 people. In the Orlando area. It's out of Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. I think it's officially out of Fort Lauderdale. And of course, that's the cruise in May. In September, we're going to England again. And doing another cruise from there. Which we're kind of excited about, because that one's going to take us to France and Spain. And one of the stops in Spain is to the same town as Corvus Belli, the people that make Infinity. So I've already told Kim that, or Peanut Gallery, as I normally say, that we have to go check that out if we can. And thanks, Mundo. Like, that's the crazy thing with traveling, is like, usually, like, it seems like wherever I go now, it's like there's a game thing or somebody I've met through gaming, that's like, oh, I want to actually, like, meet this person in person. You know, we went to Alabama, and I got to meet Cody for real and Max Liao for real. And Kim was very gracious both times. Okay. I like this. This is great. And it still just feels Battletech. Why would you decide to torture yourself by making a Titan-centric Legions Imperialis army? That's because then you have stuff to actually paint as opposed to like little tiny blobs of plastic that don't look like anything. That's why. Yes, Glenn, but the catch here being that it doesn't, I don't think it looks out of place. That's why I'm so excited about it. Like, for some of the crazy paint jobs that I've seen, like, trying to figure out what I want to do for Battletech, this is not out of place. I may not be doing it very well, but it ain't out of place. A Latin American melting pot, not a beach city. Oh, sorry. Just realized I didn't have the mech in camera. Yep. This is totally Battletech appropriate. I would actually say that this is more Battletech appropriate than Hungry Like the Wolf. Or is it Hungry as a Wolf? Thanks, Glenn. I love when you go to do something and in your head you're just like, no, this is not going to work. And then despite your protestations, it totally works. All right, totally, Seraphis, and you can come back. You can come back later, and it'll you can see that. I'll send you pictures. I will send you pictures. Definitely much tastier than Alaric's Ward's glistening pecs. Hello, Miss You. Welcome to Gaming with ADHD. This is a paint stream. It's sort of a AMA, sort of a hobby hangout. Nothing really scheduled to talk about, but typically it's gaming related. And sometimes I let the chat tell me what to paint. Which, in this case, is actually working out. I was a little bit afraid of it, though, going in. But it's worked. All right. Well, Michio, I will tell you this much. Your first models are going to suck. Okay. And I'm not even saying that to be mean. Hey, Glenn, there's always a chance to do Cowboy Curtis. He's not gone. I've got the mech set off to the side. We'll still do it. Just not today. I didn't control how the voting went. Anyhow, so, I am not saying that to be any kind of an insult. I am not trying to imply that you can't do it. But one thing I like to stress, all right, Curtis, you're the tie-breaking vote. We're going to do purple wash. I'm actually going to mix it up. I'm going to be careful about how I apply it. But we'll mix it up, and I'll do purple on the red, and then like some flesh wash on the gold. That way it doesn't have a weird shade to it. Anyways, Mishu, so the reason that I title the stream Amateur Painting Time is because I don't think I'm very good. Like, I'm literally related to Curtis. By marriage, but and he is a phenomenal painter. But I know I don't have the patience to paint like he does. I don't have the patience to paint like Six World does. Like I know there's guys in here that paint really, really well. And I absolutely listen to their advice. Mundo paints really well. Everybody paints really well. I kind of feel like my paint jobs are kind of like brute force, kind of get it done. And a lot of it comes down to just I don't have the patience for it. But I do these paint streams because I want people who are interested in the hobby to not get frustrated. Because, like, you go and you look at, like, Warhammer painting videos, and you'll see Duncan Rhodes, or Angel Heraldez, or that new girl that popped up, who used, like, the Scottish girl, who used to work for Games Workshop. You know, just all these phenomenal painters. No, hey, miss you. That's fine. You gave me something to talk about. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I know Latin America has quote unquote struggled with it. I don't know if it's as much an economic thing because Warhammer is not cheap, or just if it's a interest thing. I don't know. I've been very curious because I spent a couple years in Brazil, and never saw anything like Warhammer in the time that I was there. And I don't know if they've ever gotten really interested in it. So definitely find your perspective, interesting. Yeah, no, dude, Glenn, you are exactly right. That is actually the best. That's a fantastic word for it. The hobby has gotten intimidating. You look in White Dwarf, and I'm sorry, most of the White Dwarf stuff shouldn't be, heavy metal painted at all. It should be Bob from accounting or Sally from shipping. Whatever. They should be showing off of White Dwarf should be showing off their stuff. Now still have the heavy metal teams, like for marketing and packaging design, all that kind of stuff. But so many people just get intimidated out of the hobby. because of all these people who I mean, now they're phenomenal painters. I'm not trying to take away from their skill. But your typical player is never going to be like that kind of a painter. So, anyways, and so like the regulars here have all heard it before, but I do amateur painting time because A, it lets me get my models done, and B, I hopefully encourage a few people just to give it a try. Yeah, that's kind of what I assumed. But I know that's the thing. I mean, there's tons of options now, whether it's 3D printing or alternative games, whatever it is. I mean, there's a bunch of different options to do it, quote unquote, cheaper nowadays. So that's always good. But yeah, so as far as, hey, Inky Not Sure. Which I just realized that I was replying to Inky Not Sure as if that was Mishu. Anyway, so a lot of quote unquote not sucking is going to be practice. But also, and I've said it before, one of the most important things you can do is figure out a style and a paint level that you are happy with. That when you decide to put your brush down, you're not upset with yourself. Now, sometimes that means you want to get to that what I would call golden demon quality. Sometimes that means you're going to have a rather rough Battletech figure that you probably should have thinned your paints more a little bit on. You know? I would also recommend do not start with your character models. Don't buy a Space Marine captain or a Space Marine librarian as your first model. Buy a pack of Space Marines. You get 5 to 10 that, number one, don't have to look good. Number two, like it'll let you, like, starting with like a troop unit. Number one, it gives you a bunch more models to work with, but then also lets you kind of, figure it out in your games. Like when you actually start to play, the first things that are going to die are going to be your generic troops. So you can pull that crappily painted guy off the battlefield first. You know? So there's a lot of ways to work with it. Okay, I'm really just keeping this simple, but I really like how that looks. It's a little rough getting some of the lightning bolt stuff to look right. But overall, I really do like this. As far as that is concerned, like your pulse, get a handle like this. It's much easier to hold. If you're just trying to paint holding a figure like this, your hands are going to cramp up. It's not good, but a handle gives you a lot more to work with, a lot more to make it, Inky, you know what? Interesting thing with that, is that you can actually go either direction. So, all right. Here's an example. This is the this is an Eldar Scorpion, or a Striking Scorpion, 28mm human-sized model. Decent level of detail. So he's technically smaller than the battle mech, but the battle mech is technically so the Striking Scorpion is like 32mm scale. The battle mech is technically 6mm scale. So you can just paint simple stuff and call it good and not have to worry about tiny little details because a lot of them don't exist. But then you go to this scale, so this is about the size of a human. In here, the human would be about the size of the toe on this mech. But then again, you get more detail in it. And like Glenn just said, bigger can actually be easier, because then you say, like, this guy. So the scaling is a bit off, but the fact that he's so big makes it easier to see details. It makes it easier to paint, makes it easier to do a bunch of stuff. So, a model like a knight or something, maybe it would not be our first choice, but it's not necessarily a bad choice for a model. So keep that in mind. All right. Yeah, absolutely. It definitely takes more time. Because you've got. Okay. Super easy example. Is it faster to paint a room or your house? Your house is bigger. It takes longer to paint than, just painting one room. A knight. It's a really big model, so it'll take a long time to paint, but it's pretty big, so it'll take you a while. All right, wish me luck. Purple wash over the red and the blue. But at the end of the day, really your biggest factor on how anything is going to look literally comes down to how much practice do you want to put in on it. Like I've been I am not putting purple over the gold. I'm going to do flesh wash, Curtis. And Miss You, please come back and tell us how it went. I try to do a paint stream at least every Monday. Sometimes I do one on Friday as well. I haven't for a little while. That's a sipper. I don't know. Okay, I was about to say I don't know if I trust you, but that's clearly not true. I don't really argue with Curtis about anything art related. Mundo, he's telling me to wash the gold with purple. My brain hates the idea, but I don't think he's wrong. You know what? Here, we can do this. I can do this leg panel. All right. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. It does get in. It's got some nice dark tones in those recesses. All right, here we go. No, dude, trust me, Mundo. I get it. And actually, for Ziggy Stardust, I don't think the purple wash is a bad idea. I think how it's changing up the tone a little bit is actually pretty good. I mean, I'm trying to keep it a little light, but oh, that does work. Oh, Curtis! You mad genius. Oh, this whole thing. Oh, this is great. Oh, now what color should I do the cockpit? It's actually, it's not even a wash. I just realized. It's Army Painter Purple Ink. Oh, that was unexpected, but I like it. I actually really do like that that kind of purple overtone to it. Oh, that's great. Okay. So, downside is now I have to let it dry. Hit the base, I'm just going to paint it black. And I've got to do the cockpit, which... heterochromatic eyes. See, I need to do the cockpit. So the problem is, what color are the eyes? Oh, they're kind of a... They're kind of a green. So that's... Okay, you know what? Let's do this. Because I actually want this bright. So I'm actually going to do... I'm going to try this. Oh, all of you in chat. Actually, I mean... You all made this happen. And I'm here for it. So what we're going to do... I'm actually just using the metallic medium. Instead of the silver like I normally do. This is working okay. And then let's go with no, we're gonna do the Normally I do plasmatic bolt for greens. Actually, you know what? Sorry, folks. Alright, so Star Slayer is running large lasers, so the green is going to be the cockpit glass. Once I let some stuff dry, so give me 1 second. All right, let's try this. No, that's too thick. It's not showing up the best, but close enough. Large lasers, I think, are green. I don't remember. I just do what I think looks good. But I know I do red for medium lasers. And those are tiny and barely show up. That's fine. Oh man. Throwing paint all over the place. Where's just my black? Did I not keep the cheap black out? Alright, one problem with setting up a new work area is you have to remember where you put everything. A microscope crashes into a telescope. I don't know, Glenn, what does happen when a microscope crashes into a telescope? And the worst part is I just literally heard this joke recently, and I don't remember it. They kaleidoscope, that's right. Kaleidoscope.
All right. Black base like I normally do, because, yeah, I'm kind of boring that way. But I think I can safely say that Ziggy Starslayer is done. I mean, it just needs to dry, but... Whew! All right. And now that it's been almost 3 hours of chat and paint, so as far as glitter goes, Glenn, and that's why I used metallic medium. So like the red's metallic, the blue's metallic, obviously the gold is metallic, and that's what I opted for glitter. I had an idea, maybe trying to hit it with like a little bit of a dry brush, but I don't think that would end well, and so I'm gonna vote no on that. But there is an attempt at glitter, just not necessarily the way one would expect. And as far as that goes, Mundo, I have the card. I have not tried, or I do need to figure that out. But I like you said, by the 30th. The 30th of what? I thought it was just supposed to be like by the end of the year. I don't know. Anyways, we'll chat. We'll figure it out. Okay, folks, I've got to go. I've actually got to run a couple of errands. I've got to do some Amazon returns. Everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for making me paint Ziggy Starslayer. That was great. Yeah, let's worst case scenario, we will be back next Monday for another paint stream. I might get around to doing Fridays again. My special church side project for the month is almost done. So that will free up some time. February 30th, Glenn. But next Monday I will be back. Maybe we can do another paint challenge. Make Brian paint something ridiculous in an hour. We still got Cowboy Curtis on the table. But Wednesday night we will be doing, or as long as Seraphis is fine. He did warn me that things are a little rough for him, so we might have to push it back a week. But we'll be doing a live play of D&D 3.5, playing out the Forgotten Forge, which is the adventure in the back of the Eberron campaign setting. As soon as we finish that one shot, which might be 2 weeks, probably will only be one, we will then I'll start a new deep dive, getting into BattleTech. So yeah, this will be interesting. But on that note, I'm going to stop rambling. Everybody, hit the like button on your way out. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. I know we did have a couple of new people in chat. Hello again, Slan. Just in time to say goodbye. But everybody, seriously, thanks for hanging out. And I'm going to go. Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you next time.